Welcome everyone to HueFin News. Today is August the 6th, 2019. Here to give you all the news according to the charts. And we're going to ask the question, will XRP, Ripple, can it actually work with faster payments with the Federal Reserve and their new system that they're trying to implement called FedNow? So we're going to talk about that. It's an article right here on the left side of my screen. I thought we'd go ahead and digest it. And on top of that, look at the price charts to see if in fact the market is believing a lot of this so-called hype coming into XRP. This article just came out about 5 hours ago, today, August 6, 2019, with the title, Ripple may be gambling to be part of the Federal Reserve's FedNow service, which is set to give U.S. payment system a lift. Now, it needs to be noted that there are already other countries that are utilizing faster payments and real-time payments. The Federal Reserve, the United States government, is lagging behind in that particular space. So now they want to try to go ahead and implement a new system, seeing that cryptocurrencies are now impinging on the banking community. Okay, so this has been an ongoing process. They created a committee, a task force back in 2016, trying to figure out a way that they can implement faster payments, cross-border payments, real-time payments. And it seems that there have been proposals submitted to a certain company to investigate and research those proposals and see which one is a viable solution for FedNow. Okay, so starting off with this article, Federal Reserve Nanelle Brainard detailed an upgrade to America's existing payment system on August 5th, which was yesterday. The new and improved payment system, dubbed FedNow service, will be available by 2023-2024. Now, this has riled up the XRP community and Ripple, all the enthusiasts, more so after Dilip Rao tweet about FedNow. And I'm going to show you that tweet. Well, a different tweet that he sent out after this particular tweet that they're making mention in this article about FedNow. Okay, so what is FedNow? The task force, which was introduced in 2017, as industry incumbents and financial institutions around the country to suggest ideas to improve the payment system, which resulted in over 350 comments received from over 800 organizations. So it is getting a lot of interest and light trying to speed up this outdated payment system. Now, almost 90% of the people or the respondents urged the Federal Reserve to run a real-time payment service by providing instant interbank settlement alongside a single private sector system. Now, with Facebook trying to create their own cryptocurrency called Libra, the Federal Reserve are seeing that as an increasing threat. So now they are trying to hurry up and come out with this system called FedNow to try to alleviate any other major conglomerates, technology sectors, Google, Amazon, to come out with their own global cryptocurrency as well. So I think they're trying to make this happen relatively quick, which is why the Fed is trying to develop their payment service right now. Okay, so what is FedNow? Now, FedNow is going to be a 24/7, 365 interbank settlement service with clearing functionality with the sole purpose of faster payments. FedNow will be operating this payment service alongside private sector providers. In addition, FedNow service will be available to around 10,000 banks across the country that are already connected to the Federal Reserve. Now, the main takeaway from the announcement is that banks can now clear and settle payments between themselves, which previously would have gone through the central bank and taken a lot of time. Now, the lingering question that is on everybody's mind within the Ripple and XRP community is, what is the entity or the identity of the private sector provider who's going to work with the Fed. And this is what Dilip Rao said regarding the announcement of FedNow. Great move. FedNow will drive the transformation to real-time payments infrastructure around the world, both domestic and cross-border. So people took this as a clue that Ripple may be the one who will be working with the Federal Reserve as one of those private sector operators. Now, this caused a lot of ruckus in the Ripple and XRP community, with many speculating that Ripple could be that private sector operator that the Fed was talking about. Now, you see how they place these three words in a singular context, but in the previous section, it was plural. Private sector providers, more than one. So possibly it can be Ripple, but I doubt that they're going to be the sole provider in this sector for the FedNow system. Now, can Ripple be the private sector company working with the Fed? It can be. Although FedNow is a good direction, banks will need capital to clear and settle payments, the details of which were not provided in the presentation as of yet. Now, however, one could argue that this is outlandish, as the government will not opt to use cryptocurrency for providing liquidity for obvious reasons. A well-known XRP enthusiast in the community addressed this issue in a tweet, which is right here. Now, he's a great salesman. I don't know who he's referring to, but XRP is dead in the water without liquidity. The feds are never going to liquefy XRP when they can just create a stable Fed coin at zero cost. That is true. Why would they use a currency when they can create their own stable currency? And I'm under the presumption that Congress should have some input as to coining cryptocurrencies as well. And will XRP or Ripple have to get approval from Congress in order to utilize their cryptocurrency XRP in the daily monetary system of this FedNow system? Okay. What if it's not Ripple? Now, the task force had 16 proposals which were evaluated and classified by a qualified independent assessment team into very effective. These are the categories right here. Very effective, these are the categories right here. Very effective, effective, somewhat effective, or not effective brackets based on 30 criteria. Ripple received an overall evaluation of somewhat effective. So out of 16 proposals, Ripple was second to last in the criteria overall. That is not good. While there were others that received higher ratings than Ripple, and I will show you that chart momentarily. Now, moreover, comparing the assessment of the assessment group between Ripple, Dwolla, and the clearinghouse, it clearly shows that clearinghouse garnered favorable ratings, following which is Dwolla, followed by Ripple. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you the chart that they're talking about. Okay, but I think a lot of people within the Ripple community are trying to calm a lot of the hype that is being revealed on YouTube. Here's one. A lot of the pieces we write about are thought leadership pieces about the industry in general and not specifically about Ripple. If there is an Ripple angle, I'll be explicit about it. Now, he's the one who created this article, but then you go to Dilip Rao. Okay, right here. Let me expand this out a little bit further. To be clear, my comments are only what they state. Please do not read any more into it. A, Ripple will announce any projects when public. B, my role gets me excited about payments infrastructure, boring to most. C, cool your jets, calm down. He comes out with one tweet and the whole XRP community goes bananas. They're expecting XRP price to shoot to the moon. And when you look at the price chart, it's not happening. Okay. So now what I want to show you is the proposal that many people have not talked about on YouTube. So these are all the proposals that came and was submitted to the assessment team right here. Now, across all proposals, the task force members strongly agreed or agreed with the QIAT ratings at a rate of 90%. Now, as you can tell, looking at this graph, the clearinghouse definitely outweighed all the other proposals that were submitted. Everything else is pretty much on average. Intercomputer took second place as strongly agree. And then I would say North American Banking, Ripple, and Shazam close to third. But again, the clear winner is the clearinghouse. Intercomputer, North American Banking, Ripple, Shazam. And you can tell that the disagree portion for North American Banking is a little bit greater than Ripple and Shazam. So I would cross that one out. And then it'll be Ripple, Shazam. Dwala has a pretty good rating for strongly agree and agree. But again, looking at this chart, Ripple does not have an competitive advantage for this new system called the FedNow. Out of 30 criteria, a lot of the things that were talked about, many of these proposals did not have. As noted above, talking about the aggressive timelines, many of the proposals do not give much attention to cross-border payment capabilities. Now, I know that XRP and Ripple try to emphasize that. Among those that do have a plan for cross-border implementation, the plan will likely take a long time to gain adoption in other jurisdictions, as no solution has established traction in the market today. That's specifically talking about Ripple. Now, these implementation concerns raise more questions. How can implementation of a faster payment system balance the current demand for innovation and faster payments with the need to gain traction in adoption? How are you going to push this out is the question. XRP Ripple has been in the forefront of pushing out cross-border payments, and it is still not gaining traction. It's relatively slow in that process. This is what this whole paragraph and section is talking about. And then as competitors race to meet these demands, the sheer number of available solutions may cause providers to step back and wait until a clearly viable solution emerges, which the Fed now understand that they're under a clock. They don't have time to wait. With the increased threat of Facebook coming out with their Libra token, who else is going to come out with their own cryptocurrency? They need to try to hurry this up. So whoever can emerge as the viable solution the quickest will be the one to be the provider. And seemingly, it looks like it's going to be the clearinghouse. Furthermore, should the market be left to solve the cross-border conundrum in its own time, or should coordinated efforts be arranged to accelerate bilateral or multilateral advancement in cross-border capabilities? What they're saying, we need to get involved. We will have to coordinate our own efforts and create our own agreements, bilateral and multilateral, and this cross-border capability for our new system. And understand that the clearinghouse has already established a firm footing in that aspect. The proposed solutions tend to focus on technology more than risk. They typically have less detailed plans for risk, legal frameworks, payment system rules, and governance. As mentioned, some of the proposers do not seem to sufficiently understand settlement and specific risks associated with this process. Is Ripple a part of that? Good question. So again, based off the article, based off Dillip telling everyone to cool your jets, based off the proposal and the assessment from those proposals, you can clearly tell who the winner is. The clearinghouse. Ripple does not have a competitive advantage. A lot of these other companies can do precisely what they're doing. So even though XRP, Ripple has done a fantastic job in marketing their particular cryptocurrency, take a look at this graph right here. There's a lot of other competition out there. And right now the forerunner is the clearinghouse to be the private service provider for FedNow. And you can tell that on the price chart for Ripple. I mean, we are staunch advocates that if anything positive is going to occur in the market, the price chart will have already shown you that. Hence, Bitcoin. Look at that, Bitcoin. The market tells you what it wants, and there's a lot of interest in Bitcoin at this moment. Let me show you another one. This is REN, another cryptocurrency that is showing some interest in higher prices. But then when you go to XRP, you don't get that. That tells you something. So now I just want to go ahead and give you all the update as well as to what we're noticing on the price chart for XRP. And you can see right here from the 1st of August, when we did our video, we said that the market in XRP was just really going to hold consolidational trading, and it has been trading right within this particular range. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get rid of that and give you all the update of what we're noticing in the market for XRP today. And yesterday we did see an influx of volume come in for this token, and it is carrying on over into today's trading, and it is definitely weak as of this particular moment. But I mean, we're just consolidating. Nothing dramatic is really occurring in this space for XRP. This is probably one of the least volatile cryptocurrencies in the market to date. Looking at XRP on the 4-hour chart, again, you can still see weaknesses present. I'm not really expecting a huge movement to the downside, but you can play it moving to the downside right now. Support looks like it's going to try to hold around 30.5 cents. So, I mean, we can play this on a small time frame, and that's about it. But the long term still looks to show us consolidational trading. Okay. Now, resistance for this market in XRP is at 32 cents. Okay, now if we can break above that, then consolidational trading is still up there at 33. But again, this is the current trend in the market for XRP. We will TP the market though if we see strength come in XRP at 30.5 cents. So I want to point that out to you all, which would be about 1.25% profit getting out the market in that instance. Okay, but all in all, this is our update. Just wanted to come in and give you our perception, our thoughts about XRP being one of the providers for FedNow, which is still possible, but I don't think it's going to create the type of demand that a lot of people are trying to display on YouTube. Okay, so that's just our thoughts and our perceptions. Definitely would like to hear what yours are. Give us your opinion. And again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and share these videos. And join us at our website, HueFinancial.com, in order to get more information about our price movement forecast. Make sure y'all maintain profitability, and I will talk to you all later.